enjoying this.
Top of the morning, middle of the evening, bottom of the afternoon. What's up, you guys? It's your girl, Fresh. And we are back with another video. Oh, yeah, we're on our lunch break, so that's why we don't have our mask on. I'm so pressed.com to be here with Kimani. Okay, guys, so the last video we made, some people came up with some questions. So today we're just going to do a quick video talking about what the nurses do versus what the techs do, the PCTs, because in some states, in some countries, their laws and their regulations are definitely different. And I have my pro here, so she can tell you guys anything that I forget or I don't know. But you want to say hi, Kimani?
Hello. You crazy. Should I take my glasses off?
Yeah, you want to?
I need to see what's going on.
Oh, my mercy. Okay. Kimani, why do you always do this? She want to sit beside me, y'all.
She's crazy.
All right, so from what I know in Maryland, the PCTs basically draw heparin, they give heparin, they set up the machines. We do work in the water room as far as opening the building, making bicarb. We, of course, do the needles. We make acid. The nurses oversee everything. You know, we're under their license. They do the medications, you know, Tylenols, Zofrans, etc., things like that. You know, they do some reviews with the patients. They do their assessments. Excuse the ums. They also do heparin and everything. They basically do what we do, but they do a little bit more, and that's in here in Maryland. I know in some states like North Carolina.
Is it North Carolina?
One of them states, like, techs are not allowed to do heparin.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and which
in some states they can't do catheters either.
Ooh, mercy. Yeah. Which is kind of like yeesh, especially when you're trying to maintain your pace, because if you sit and think, a nurse got to go all around the clinic to give all these patients heparin, and you getting put on late. I digress. You're right. My bad. And I know I heard somebody tell me that in the hospitals, nurses, like techs, don't mess with the water room or the bicarb and all of that. They just specifically do patient, what they supposed to do as a tech with the patients. And I'm gonna let Kimani take over. I just wanted to talk to you guys because it's been a while and my lips dry because of the mask. I don't be wearing my stuff like I normally do for y'all. I need my hair.
Yeah, right.
Okay, my bad too.
Okay, so I wanted to answer a question about what's the difference between the nurse and what the tech does. I do know a nurse that comes from the Philippines, and she told me that technicians, only thing they do is set up machines and do water, and that's it. The nurses do absolutely everything. They put all the needles in, put them on the machine, do all the monitoring, and the technicians only do water and machine setup. So the country can vary too. As far as in the hospital, normally their systems is a little different. To me, it's one of them things that's already on a push cart, and you can just wheel it beside the patient's bed. You know what I mean? So they may already have like bicarb already made, acid already made, and it might already be in bags or bottles, and it's just connected. And they go ahead and wheel it beside the machine. That's different. That's a totally different type of machine too. I don't work with those. I work with the Ks, the K2s, and the T machines, and the T machine Blue Stars.
These are the machines we hook the patients up to, dialysis machines. Yeah.
I'm trying to think, is there anything else? Somebody else, anything else? But for the most part, everything she said, we put the patients on the machine, we put the needles in, we start the treatment, we monitor the vitals every 30 minutes. You can't do assessments as a tech, so you can't write stuff like edema +1, +4, +3. You can do a data collection, and you can put, and then they put if the patient has edema, you can just put yes.
What if people don't know what edema is?
Edema is actually like, it's fluid. Like you can actually take your finger and press a person's arm, leg, or thigh, and it will actually go in. But that's actually just fluid. What else can I say that we don't? And she right, we do bicarb, acid, all that. But there are some facilities where technicians do not do all that. I feel like in the state of Maryland, I think we actually do the most. In DC and Maryland, we do the most. I think in other states, techs don't have as much responsibility. But in this state, oh my gosh, you do everything.
Well, let me go somewhere and make some bread with all this skill I got. I'm just joking, but I'm serious.
But that's why then for the most part, what you say, the nurse, they do assessments. They do these things called care plans too. Like they do care plans, I believe, monthly on every patient just to see what they want to do to tackle whatever is going on with this particular patient. And they have meetings and meet with the social worker, dietitian, AA, and normally your charge nurse or your clinical coordinator. So especially if you have a patient that's non-compliant and you have a lot of issues with their labs.
You know what? Because everybody, y'all be having some questions, and sometimes it's kind of hard to get a hold of her because sometimes she don't want to work with us, you guys. Sometimes she wants to work with us. You know how many times I asked her today to make this video? But she's here now. Look, y'all see her lean her head a little bit. Oh, bro, you gotta break her down, okay? But you know what? Give us a quick run through because you know people want to do other things besides nursing or teching, like they want to grow into other fields. So can you give us a quick overview of what the dietitian does and then what the social worker does?
Okay, the social worker, that's a little tougher for me there because that's one person I haven't connected with as much. But I would say the social worker can do a lot when it comes to the patient's bills. The patients are complaining about getting bills, can't afford medication. The social worker actually can contact the right people to get them what they need. Like if they have a medication, they say, oh, this medication is too much, I can't afford it. They might be able to hook them up with some particular company that might cover it or get them, let's say, a lower copay. But they also have an insurance lady and things like that too. But the social worker does things like the patient's transportation, maybe the way they may feel about starting dialysis, or maybe if they're having issues with depression and things like that. Any complaints, yeah, the social worker is involved with that too. The dietitian's job pretty much is to keep the patient as healthy as possible while they also have kidney failure. Because with dialysis, we're trying to replace pretty much what the kidneys do. But in-center dialysis, it only replaces maybe about 10% of what a regular functioning kidney does, because you got to think your regular kidney is running 24/7. And you talking about they come in here 3 days a week and be on the machine 3 to 4 hours. You can't replace that in 3 days for 3 to 4 hours what a 24/7 regular kidney does.
This is why, you guys, we really strongly want to encourage people to try PD. PD is at home, okay, which is just daily, nightly, whichever time you feel like doing it, however you do it. But it's better long term, and you know, if you have a busy lifestyle, work and everything, it kind of works in with your, you know, your work schedule and everything like that. Slid that in there like I was getting paid for, right?
It's okay.
Listen, guys, ask questions, but don't be asking these questions about the social worker and the dietitian because she gave y'all what she know. Okay, you guys can ask and we'll find out the answers.
I'm gonna say something for the dietitian. Yeah, I don't know how deep they want me going. The dietitian.
Don't she go over their labs with them too?
She go over their labs, or she talking to them about stuff that's high in phosphorus, low in phosphorus, high in calcium, low in calcium. She monitors their calcium level, and she monitors pretty much all their labs. Because I have to give you, I'm gonna give you one example. Don't ask for anything else, just one example. Okay, so let's say their calcium was extremely low, because while they're on the machine, the nurses pass something called Hectorol, and Hectorol makes people pretty much produce vitamin D. The reason that is if you don't have vitamin D and calcium, it makes your bones brittle. If their calcium blood level is too low, it makes your parathyroid hormone kick in. If that parathyroid hormone gets really high, it will actually rob the calcium from the bones. And I mean, they can trip and fall, and you'll trip and fall, and that bone will break. So it sounds crazy, but it's like they kind of like work against each other. You know what I mean? Like if you have a lot of calcium, the parathyroid level, it'll drop some. I mean, I could get a little bit more technical, but I don't want to start talking about sales. Show off, girl. It's like, no. But yeah, that's why that's very important that she stays on top of the labs. They watch their hemoglobin and things like that too, because they want to make sure they actually have a good blood count. If that becomes too low, oh my gosh, they'll have issues bleeding, they'll be tired, a lot of things, because you know red blood cells, they actually carry oxygen. So they'll have issues with breathing. But what else can I say? But like I said, the dietitian does a lot. she does a lot of talking to them, and I'm not gonna lie, sometimes they don't listen and they end up with a lot of other issues. I'm talking about calcified arteries, just
we've seen
a lot of stuff. Because I had a patient that couldn't even get a kidney transplant, and he's about 43 years old.
Oh
and
my God, he's so young.
And all that because he don't want to take his binders, because he don't want to follow the diet restrictions. So now he can't get a transplant, and then he's stuck coming in here 3 times a week when he could actually be at home on his boat crabbing and fishing, and at least be out of here for 5 or 10 years. So, just
you did good. You got us to 10 minutes, girl.
But that's it. That's all I have to say.
When y'all get y'all the training, get y'all one like her, okay?
Oh my God.
Yeah, but no, I like our dietitian and our social worker too. Laura and Kelly, they're awesome. We play bingo. B-I-N-G-O. Anything else you want to say?
No.
She was ready to do it that time, y'all. Okay, bye.